Okay, welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, here again with my man Justin Ward on the chords,
Yo,
and we talk about what they want. Welcome back. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this past week. Crazy shenanigans, as always. It's just always some good stuff to talk about here, it seems like.
well,
Not
yeah,
really good, but wild shit is constantly going on. PsyOp season never ends.
yeah. The content for us is generating itself.
It's crazy. It's, not almost, almost. But yeah, definitely, it takes a little brain power to, because this shit is complex still. It is. But yeah, so hopefully you guys, checked out the book club. If not, that's okay, because we're going to be going over a bunch of stuff from that. So it's really not super imperative. But we will be giving you guys the link on on the Patreon. So, and we're on the Patreon, so fuck, we should have changed our background.
We should have.
All right, well, you know what? We didn't on the last one, so fuck it.
Fuck it.
Next time, you guys get the cool Matrix globe. It's gonna be back. I promise. We won't forget again. Um, but yeah, welcome to the Neoverse.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, what if we
we're
just
here.
like,
Welcome to the Neoverse. We're in this motherfucker. All right, cool, man. So anyway, yeah, well, welcome guys. We got a couple people in here. We're kind of gathering a little, we're trying to get a little crowd. We
yeah,
have a lot of free members, and I don't know if it's like a trial. See, I don't know if it's confusing for the people signing up. So if it is, whatever. I mean, hey, do the free trial. I don't care, but it seems like it gives you the option to stay as a free member, but you don't get to watch the episodes. So that's kind of weird. So anyway,
yeah. It is almost weird. I think
I don't know why it gives two free options. It's kind
it's
of
it's
odd.
almost like if you're a free member, you still have to pay for the episodes or something. I don't know. I still have
Yeah.
to look more into it.
It's weird because yeah, there's two free. There's the join for free, which is a trial, and then there's the join for free, which is not a trial, it's just join for free.
Right.
And then there's this membership thing where you can do the 7 day trial. It's just odd. I don't know why they have so many options
Yeah.
on there. It's weird. But anyway, so if you aren't able to watch this, or if you're not hearing this now because of that, I apologize. Um, don't know what's up with that. That's Patreon's deal. So I want to get into the Israel Antichrist theory that kind of got brewing up. It's a multifaceted theory that is not just simple as the Jews in Israel are doing this.
Yeah.
I want to be clear that that's not the purpose of what I'm saying. I'll say that out the gate. But it seems to be the control arm of the technological security state that's being built. And so since I think that's the beast system, it's worth calling it that, Israel and the Antichrist. So we'll call it Israel and the Antichrist. So that way it's clearly not, you know? That's good. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. IATA.
Israel and the Antichrist. Yeah, that's good. I A.
IATAC, I guess.
If it was IATAC, it would be one letter off from APAC, which is their fucking lobby that they have on our.
Dude,
That's
we
fire.
fucking do this shit off the cuff.
Dude, we be doing this shit. So anyway, okay. So Behold the Pale Horse, we kind of got into that. And as I was getting into that, I was like, man, there's so much context here that I got to bring into this show. So if you didn't hear the book club, then don't worry. We're going to get into some of that here.
Shout out to Jack Bonson for pulling up to the book club last night. Good shit.
Jack, hey, shout out, bro. If you're not in the Patreon, dude, come pull up, man, because you obviously love what we do as far as you seem to be like-minded. And also, I can't believe he said that Trump helped with the 9/11 and then that was wild. That blew my mind for a minute. I never saw anything about that. So, it's always good to get other people around. You
Yeah,
learn new things.
get new takes on stuff.
Mhm. Let's get to Sorry, let me get here. Okay, cattle. People who don't use their brains are no better than having no brain at all, and therefore they are beasts of burden, useful beasts of burden. And remember that, we talked about that in the silent weapons.
Yeah,
It's an ongoing, thing because again, they're the adept, you're the profane. They believe that you don't use you just don't have a high enough intelligence like they do. They have a specialized logic, reasoning framework that you don't have. And so I always like to remind people that that's how they feel about them, so that way you can remember that. And also, you have to accept a part of the process that we've been cattle,
Yeah.
because that's what cattle is. And we got to be prepared to fight or die for the God-given right to freedom. And that's some shit from Bill Cooper in the book. I was like, man, dude, that's facts.
That's facts. Are you
That's
prepared?
facts. Are you prepared? I'm not all the way prepared, so I say we get ourselves there.
Get prepared, dude. Now's the time.
Yeah, dude. So, in the book, it talks about secret societies. I think that that is at the helm of all of the 6G shit we see coming. As a matter of fact, I think from his book, it's provable. And so, we're going to get into what he says here about what they are and then how they're involved in our current globalist places like, the Bilderberg Group or the CFR or the UN, right?
Mm.
So, Brotherhood of the Snake and or Dragon. Now we're gonna start with that, and I'm gonna mix in some of the biblical Antichrist shit with it. Okay. So in Revelation, it says that the dragon gives power to the beast and breathes life into the beast,
Mm-hmm.
and then the beast wants to be worshipped essentially, and that's gonna be AI, I believe, at least something a semblance of it. And the dragon, what is that? Well, that would be the societies of these people, right?
Yeah.
And it seems to be Israel forefrontly, but definitely, that was put there by, the royal family and the Rothschilds. So they're all involved. It's not just one, the Jesuits and the Vatican. I mean, they're all involved. So, but this Brotherhood of the Snake is what we could call all of them. The Illuminati, right? Later that they called themselves. And they believe that, knowledge, Lucifer, that's the one true God, and that man will become God. And these secrets are supposedly so profound that only a few can understand the secrets that they hold. But how would we know since they hide it?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like the exclusivity is really the power of their groups. And then they just use this secret knowledge that nobody knows. And it's like so profound, but you can't know.
Yeah.
It's all probably bullshit. It's deception. And so, again, that's why it gets into the silent weapons with the MK Ultra, because who is the masters of deception is these secret societies with a pyramidal structure where you only get up if you're indoctrinated at the right level, essentially.
Right.
So the mystery religion is only a tool for the mystery schools believe that religion is only a tool to use to manipulate the masses. And I believe that they're trying to inorganically create prophecy in Revelation. People turn on Israel, they do the temple, all the shit, Armageddon, yada
Yeah.
yada. And then when God doesn't come to save everybody, people will give up on their said religions and they'll join the new cult, the Luciferian fucking one new world order. That's what I'm talking about here.
Right.
And so this is the angle we're taking. Israel, Bill Cooper says, was created to bring about Armageddon in the Middle East, so that way it could bring in a one world government. It was so awful that people just beg for it to stop. And then they're willing to give away their security and their freedoms.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, dude, they got this shit. As we get into this, you kind of missed it yesterday, so we're gonna get into it again. Man, they already have everything they need to do it right now if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Like
They
I
have
didn't
all the
even
tools
know.
and the weapons to do everything that, yeah.
Yeah, and the executive orders and national security
Right.
frameworks
And the
are all
alliance with,
in place.
yep.
It's crazy. So they believe that only a few contain high intellect, in that, like I said, and the reasoning faculty, the way they hold poise in a situation is what, like, if you're animalistic or if you're like, you know, take your time, don't panic, all that. Well, I'm like that. So what? Do I get to be a Mason? I mean, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like, that's
Right.
crazy. You remember Dune? Dune, where he has to put his hand into the thing for the
Yep.
Bene Gesserit? That dude, I said this in the book club. Like, Dune is literally just like a lesson on Freemasonry. The Bene Gesserit, that's what
Yeah.
that is.
Interesting.
Yes, from my studies of Freemasonry, which is very deep, And then my love of Dune. I've seen the movies multiple times and I love the books. I literally
Yeah.
have the book. I have the book. I don't even read fucking books after movies like that. But I love Dune.
Shit, I'll fucking help you on a Dune deep dive. That would be dope
Dude, we'll do a Dune deep dive, bro. Cause like
for sure.
the spice like represents this whole
Yeah.
psychedelic fucking spiritual thing. Like it's a whole thing, bro. I love
Because
it.
I'll be honest, I wasn't huge on the Dune franchise until the modern movies came out, and then
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
hooked, man.
I didn't care about the old ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I'll be real with you, man. I just spilt water on my Israel Antichrist notes.
Oh fuck, dude.
Oh, why don't you have digital notes? Oh, why don't you type it? Because, motherfucker, like, do you know how inconvenient that is to sit here and do that? Oh, it's inconvenient to write. Who does that? What do you? Well, but I don't know, man. I remember it easier
It's
whenever I write shit.
traditional, man.
It is, dude. And then I gotta take all this shit and read it one day and make a fucking book. Cause I'm trying to make a book out of
Yeah,
this shit.
dude.
So then imagine that. I got all these random fucking chunks of paper stapled together as like a topic. And then I gotta figure all that out one day. Like, what a dumbass. I really fucking set myself up because guess
Hey,
what? When I make the book, I have to type it.
well now that fucking paper has some lore, dude, you're gonna find it one day and be like, oh yeah, put water on this shit.
Dude, one day these notes are gonna be worth money.
Yeah, man.
Just kidding.
The
That'd be
original
hilarious.
transcripts.
Dude, these are the 6GA notes.
It'd be a relic.
Oh
They'll be
my
blowing
God.
dust off of them and shit.
Yeah, dude. I've got it. I've already got it in a little chest. Like a little foot chest. I just keep the piles of notes in there.
You
So it's
gotta,
already in a
dude, you have to have like a fucking lock on it and then have some sort of code and then leave like a paper trail on what the code is and shit like that. So people can
yeah.
turn that into an adventure.
People do those scavenger hunts.
Yeah,
It's like I
dude.
just left 10 grand inside of this fucking place. Go find it. It's like, damn.
Yeah, yeah. But in this case, it's just the fucking 6GA notes.
Yeah, 6GA
It's not
notes. You
10
know what I
grand,
mean? And
sorry, but it's the
the
truth.
schizophrenic notes of a psychopath. It's like, I'm just kidding.
Depending on where they
uh,
find it, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, someone was
what
off the
does
rocker, dude."
I mean, yeah, dude, out of context, you read my notes, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God,
Yeah,
what is this? This person needs to be put in a room." That's why I worry about this fucking police state so much because I know they're gonna get me.
they're gonna
They're
put
gonna be
you in a
like,
pillow
"This
wall room,
guy's
dude.
yeah, dude." Like Sam Tripoli always says, he'll be single digits in the camp, you know.
Yeah,
Like
he'll be
where
one of
his
the
number in the
first.
camp will be single. Yeah, I'll be like double digits for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
You
you'll
know.
be yeah, you'll be one of the first in line.
Yeah, it won't be too long. First, so yeah, it gets into he gets into these different societies, right? So the Rashaniya, you have the cult of Mithras, and you have their counterpart, the Builders, aka the Freemasons. Now we're going way back, like Persia, like this is far back, okay? And so this all is the Illuminati, aka the Sons of Light. So the first people to call themselves the Sons of Light is Rashaniya. That's what that means, the illuminated ones. Now, the Illuminati was started in Bavaria, allegedly, in 1776. It was found out. And then that happens to be the same year that our country started because the Freemasons, I believe, the Illuminati wasn't started at that time. It had been around a long time. Illuminati.
Um,
TI, yeah.
hold on.
TI. Let's see what it says. 1776. That's a lie, but we'll go with it, okay? Because from what I've read, it goes back as far as the Knights Templar or the Order of the Assassins. No, so you see the Order of the Assassins, 1090?
Yeah,
The Rashaniya are known as the Assassins, bro. The
yeah.
Hassan, Saba, like, yeah, dude, these are known as the Rashaniya. So
Damn,
these are the
that's
Sons of Light.
crazy as
This gets
fuck.
in
I didn't
his,
even realize.
yeah, the Assassin's Creed is based off of this cult that I'm talking about, dude. It's
Yeah,
literally what it's based off of.
I just
It's the
didn't realize how
Freemasonic.
fucking similar the logos were.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I did, but yeah, exactly.
I guess I
It's
just
like
never looked into it.
it comes off to the side, like no, but go up where the eye is. That's the perfect one. The hidden ones,
This
they
shit.
literally no up top on the third over.
Ah,
They tell you like in that one, it's clear.
yeah.
They literally put the eye inside the eye of Horus. That the free you could look up a Freemasonic emblem that has the same eye inside of it. Like that's a real thing. So anyway, that's crazy. And so yeah, the Roshania are the assassins, and they also are the Illuminati, and they also are the same thing as Freemasons. So with that in mind, let's sit back and think about the Knights of Malta and the fact that Charlie Kirk was assassinated and his wife had a Knights of Malta necklace on. There it is, the eye. Now check that out, Justin. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So the assassins, the Roshania assassins, and the Knights Templars and the Knights of Malta, they're all part of the same Illuminati cult. Okay, so you gotta realize that every one of these secret societies are a part of the same Illuminati cult with different names. The Skull and Bones, all of it, right? So when you look at it that way, and you again, Charlie Kirk's assassinated. His wife has a Knights of Malta cross on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about how the assassins were the original, one of the original Illuminati cult members of the Brotherhood of the Snake. Hello,
Wild, dude.
They've been assassinating people since 1090, at least.
That is kind of crazy how it's all like different branches of government almost.
Exactly, and that's how you almost have to look at it. Is like these are all factions that they aren't warring factions, but they do kind of like debate who gets to be the one to run shit, you know.
Sure,
But
yeah.
it is essentially they have the same interests.
Yeah.
They want it to look the same. They just don't know who will run it.
Right.
So they believe that the illumination that they receive comes from a supreme being that desires a class of perfect men to
Hmm.
carry out and organize in direction of the world. It reminds me of Nazis. And if you think about it, when they say that they want the abolishment of private property, nation states, and religion, that sounds a lot like the WEF. I went over that on Outside Minds recently.
Yeah.
It's like that's clearly what that is. And so we have the WEF, these major organizations that I believe are the same as these. They're probably a part of it. Like a part of like literally by a part of it, I mean they're literally initiated into one of these fucking societies. I
Yeah.
guarantee it. So they believe in a plan to reshape social system by first taking control of nations one by one. So the extreme right and extreme left are exactly the same. They use them as useful tools to get this to happen. And that's what I've been saying for a while, dude.
Yeah.
Like I you know what I mean? I love to see that this guy said it too cuz he knew his shit. And so go ahead.
No, yeah, like the wild ones on the internet do have the most reach.
Yeah. No, and that's why people like nowadays they'll be like, "Well, they just magnify the few voices." Well, why do you think that is? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We brought up the fucking clip an episode or two ago. I don't really remember, but it was Netanyahu talking about using influencers.
Yeah, pay him 7 grand.
Like he's
The
being
other
very
days,
transparent.
yeah, the other day somebody on X, they were like, somebody said Israel's really the good guy, and then somebody was like, "How much did you get paid for this post?" And then me and like a million others put 7 grand because
Yeah, man.
everybody knows, man. It's not a hidden thing. Now, again, this gets into the fulfillment of prophecy and organically of everybody turning against Israel, and I think that we may be at a turning point where unfortunately, I think we're only knowing about this because they want us to know, because they want us to react, because they're now at a point where if we go crazy and Armageddon happens, that's what they want because it brings it all in.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really what they're pushing for. I do. I can't really see it a different way. I mean, like you said the other day, they're sure fucking done pretty close to that ceasefire,
Yeah.
right? You know?
Yeah. They're
So
almost there.
I'm saying they're poking and prodding for this World War, Civil War scenario that they're going for.
Yeah. No,
But it's
we're
going to get really crazy whenever we get into the fact that I'll just give you a hint. Martial law was never rescinded after Civil War. And so technically there's a lot of things that have been going on since the Civil War because of that that
yeah.
we don't know about that I'm going to point out here in a little bit.
And I thought it was crazy timing on me seeing this video. There was I guess I don't remember exactly when, but in China there was a bunch of fucking people in the streets going crazy trying to get reforms made and all this shit, and then it did martial law had been declared, and then soldiers were walking down the street, opening firing on all the
on them.
civilians. And I was like, wow, it's almost like what's gonna be here. It feels like
It seems that way. It might be more sophisticated with drones and
a
things
little
like
bit,
that,
yeah. It
but
may not be
essentially
as
it's
simple as a fucking squad of soldiers walking down the street, open firing on people.
well, I mean, but we do have the military in Portland, you know what I mean? And
Well,
and
yeah,
we've been getting comfortable with this idea of masked fucking police officers, like these
yeah,
guys that are ICE officers with, masks on. Literally
yeah,
Gestapo style, bro. That's full Gestapo.
yeah.
If you don't know what Gestapo is, that's Nazi, like that's what they called them.
Past couple of
If
days, I've been seeing a bunch of shit coming out of Chicago.
dude, yeah,
Wild.
they're letting it go wild, bro.
Yeah,
They're letting it go wild because what did Mao, and you spoke of China, what did communist China do? They let the crime rate go crazy to the point where people begged. They were like, now they tell on all their neighbors.
yeah,
And that's what they want, man. And that don't give in. But unfortunately, we're speaking of human nature, man. Like, a lot of people, if they're not listening to people like us, then they will give in because human nature will always, at the end of the day, unless, shown direction, it's going to go the way that they plan, you
yeah,
know? Because they understand human nature, and that's a real thing.
yep,
All separate societies are the same, especially if initiations are present. That's kind of what I was speaking to earlier. So the Rashaniya, the Order of the Quest, the Kabbalah, the
yeah,
Knights of Malta, the Jesuits, the Rosicrucians, the Nazis, the Communists, the CFR, the Trilateral, the Bilderberg Group, the Skull and Bones, all these places, I mean, they're not different.
yeah,
And so now we can kind of bring this into a light where it's like, oh, now it makes sense a little bit to see that it's like an octopus, many tentacles,
mm-hmm.
but it's one fucking brain?
It's a Hydra.
Yeah, dude. Well, yeah, exactly. And Marvel did great with the predictive programming, with that shit, right? It's 100% exactly that.
Yeah,
Um, and the Bilderberg Group was started, like we talked about on another episode, by a card-carrying Nazi, Prince Bernhard. And he is a part of the family of the Habsburgs. And the Habsburgs, Prince Bernhard, go ahead and look up descendant of Roman emperor because that's what I was going to get at.
okay,
So Prince Bernhard, who started the um what's it called? The Bilderberg group, he can veto the choice of a pope. Did you know that?
no.
Wait, is that him? The Netherlands?
Mm,
Yeah, that should be him. But why didn't it just answer you? Why does it got to do this?
well, Google said, here, let's show what Google said.
It's not possible to confirm that.
Yeah,
Okay, dude. Okay, well check this out. Prince Bernhard Bilderberg, do that, and then just go there and put Bilderberg, and then just see because what BILD whatever it doesn't matter. But what I'm trying to figure out is if he can veto the choice of a pope. German Prince House of Lippe in 1911, a family with origins traceable to the 12th century. Uh, so the lack of ancient records, that's fine. Go back up real quick. I'm sorry to do this, but our patrons won't mind.
no.
Veto Pope decision after Bilderberg.
Brand new.
Just no, just delete everything descendant and on. I know my
Good
bad.
grief.
Okay. And then veto Pope decision. I wonder, I mean, this is one of those things like it has the power. Oh, baseless conspiracy theory. This claim has no basis in history or Catholic canon law. Damn, Bill. So where did he read that? He never gave that any context for me to go look this up.
This is also Google.
Wait,
Let's look.
conspiracy theories sometimes, yeah, it's true. It says conspiracies sometimes invent a connection claiming, it's not a part of the church. Hmm. Well, I'm glad we sat here and looked that up
Mm-hmm.
because that is kind of annoying. How could I even verify whether or not that's true? Thomas Paine. Ooh, okay, wait. So you see that part two, William Cooper, Behold the Pale Horse? I bet you he explains. It's probably got something to do with Thomas Paine. He must explain it there. Here we go. Yeah, Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands has the power to veto Vatican's choice of any pope it selects. Prince Bernhard has the veto power because his family, the Habsburgs, are descended from the Roman emperors. Okay. Well, let's look up
He
the
is the leader of the
Habsburgs.
black families. He claims descent from the house of David, and thus can
Yeah,
truly say that he is related to Jesus.
yeah. So the Habsburgs, is that something that we can figure out is related to the Roman Church?
Well, let's look into it
Or
because
the
I
Roman Emperor?
know
Yeah, just Habsburg Roman Emperor. I wonder if that's a thing.
I was looking to see if they had any um talk
Doesn't say
about
anything
his
about it.
family in here in his uh Wikipedia, but does not. So let's see.
Hmm,
Uh, the
Habsburg.
Habsburg family.
Holy shit, dude! That's the picture that motherfuckers are talking about with Mark Zuckerberg.
The ugly fucker or that guy?
Dude!
Oh yeah, definitely that
Yeah!
guy.
Holy shit, dude! That's crazy, bro. I never knew. So wait, so he's
Oh
related to.
shit.
So
Look at that
he's.
nose on that guy.
So do you think that Zuckerberg's probably related to this guy in some way? It's got to be.
Could be some weird lineage. I mean, from that painting. I mean,
Holy shit, dude, that's crazy. So I've seen that like many times. I mean, so we're talking about the guy who started the okay, and then Zuckerberg attends the Bilderberg group now. So that's super fucking weird. Okay,
mm-hmm.
let's just move on from that. But essentially, the Bilderberg group is one of these groups. That's a fact. Whether or not this guy can veto a pope, who gives a shit? Because at the end of the day, the Bilderberg group is real, and that's what matters. Yeah, that goes back to the Romans, doesn't it? Who
Habsburg,
knows?
Lothringen family tree.
Wait, go to Habsburg. Go back to that. Just type Roman Emperor family or something like, see if it. No, keep that. You need that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Aha! Look at this. Dominated the Holy Roman. The Habsburg family, not to be confused with the earlier Roman emperors, dominated the Holy Roman Empire and ruled an extensively Habsburg monarchy, often referred to as Austria. So they've done this thing where they've tried to split it off and make it seem they're
Mm-hmm.
fucking around. They're doing fuckery here. This is when you know there's fuckery. Like there's too much fuckery going on right now with how we're reading this. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh, and then Hitler comes out of Austria.
this is
Come on,
confusing
bro.
me. Unless there's like
I know.
two different Habsburg families that it's fucking getting confused on, but
No,
I
yeah,
don't
they're
think
doing this
so.
on purpose. They do this shit to keep people off of their trail because they don't want you on their lineage. Fuck, dude, the Habsburgs might be a family you can't really talk about much.
Apparently not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. This must be right up there with the Pasteur family. Uh-oh, I said it. Dude, tinfoil hat, that's the family they don't name. Because he said that he got bogged down as soon as he said it. Do
Yeah.
you think we'll get bogged down on Patreon for this? We did it. Too late now.
We might, dude.
We don't got fucking bunch of people on here anyway. It's okay. As it builds up, though, they may delete the motherfucker. So the Bilderberg group, organized by the prince, leader of the black family, as we said, House of David. These are the people directing the Quiet War, okay? And the Secret Destiny of America, which was written by Manly P. Hall, who was a Freemason, said that America was created to create an enlightened democracy of nations of the world. Democracy of nations of the world. So Order of the Quest decided an American colony that they would plant the new roots for a new way of life. And Benjamin Franklin, was a member of the Order of the Quest. We went into how he did rituals in a cave and weird shit,
Mm.
and how the Freemasons were a part of all this shit. They received aid from a secret body in Europe, okay? Now, this is what I was getting at the Freemasons to start America. Remember how I talked earlier about the Illuminati starting in 1776?
Yeah.
The same year. That's a nod to the fact that our country was started that year, and it says they received aid from a secret body in Europe. Who
Mm.
do you think that was? That was the Illuminati, bro. The Bavarian Illuminati helped our founding fathers start this country. That's why you see a pyramid with an eye on top on the back of your dollar bill, and it says New Order, New World Order in Latin. That is telling you what the fuck I just said.
Wild.
That's why symbology matters, man. So secrecy is clearly wrong because otherwise you wouldn't keep it a secret, right? That's why, secret societies are people that don't tell you what they talk about, right? The
Yeah.
Bilderberg Group is a secret society by definition. They won't tell you what they talk about. The CFR is another one. I think they talk about what they say a little bit more, though. But on the executive committee, nobody knows what they're talking about because those guys are a part of this, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because the executive committee is, just like the top of a pyramid of Freemasonry. Those are the people that know what's going on. The rest don't really know.
Yeah. They got a real
So
need
there's,
to know basis.
oh yeah, that's why the military is based off the same style of thing, and corporations they're built the same way as well,
Yeah.
right? You need to operate on a hive mind. You have this pyramid structure, top down, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
Let's get into the real shit.
Do it.
This is kind of what I've been trying to get at here. So all that to say, these societies have infiltrated globalist structures and governments in high places. A citizen is not responsible for a law if not made available to him to read. But because of the Civil War, where the martial law was never rescinded, giving power to continue writing laws, subverting the Constitution, a national security directive was created not long after, where they could pretty much make secret laws, subverting the Constitution. Executive orders.
Yeah.
Executive orders. Those weren't around before that. That's what I'm pointing out.
Okay.
So, if you know anything about Roman history, there was a point where they had a constitution. And there was another point later where a Roman emperor was pretty much ruling, but
Mm-hmm.
people thought that it was under the constitution and, how it was supposed to be. And it wasn't being ran that way.
Yeah.
We're in that stage of our empire.
Yeah.
They have subverted the Constitution without our knowledge through executive orders, and we just don't know because of all these secret laws that are going on how much power they actually have. We're still operating on these old rules as if we really have to abide by them. They don't have to. Because I'll explain why later, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, like, I'm wondering if there's someone, and if not, maybe we could fucking do it. Look into all of the fucking executive orders and see what everything cancels out in the Constitution.
So that's kind of what I was getting at. So these are under the guise of national security. National security, as we know, has been used to implement a lot of Orwellian styles of government,
Mm.
right? Like surveillance, the NSA, National Security Administration, they're spying on all Americans. Edward Snowden comes out and talks about it. This all happens because the martial law was never rescinded. So then this gets into the separate government, the parallel government we talked about, the underground bunkers and all that shit, right? They that also made that possible. Okay? And we'll get into how here in a second. Crazy, dude. So Lincoln started the martial law. Reagan wrote over 300 national security directives, and national security directives are how they are what I'm referring to, as well as executive orders. Okay, so those together is how they build this separate government at the
Yeah.
same time. Okay, it's hard to understand because this is like political shit, but it's really important. At least it was hard for me to wrap my head around. I mean, I feel like I'll be able to explain it better than fucking how Bill Cooper, because he'll just go straight from the goddamn fucking Congress book and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So most have never heard of these weapons that I'm talking about here, which is the national security directives, as well as, I mean, we know about executive orders, but just not the power that they have. So Congress has turned a blind eye to this, but at 3:30 a.m., August 4th, 1990, the Senate made it easier to do everything I'm talking about. Do you remember Iran Contra?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that. George H.W. Bush, right? So, 1990, he was president. 3:30 a.m. on August 4th, they wrote something called the Senate Intelligence Authorization Act. which
Mm.
essentially gave the president all these powers. Okay, so fraudulent. Yeah, look up Senate Intelligence Authorization Act, 1990. 90. We need to make sure that's the right, just in case. Okay. So this
Mm.
was done at 3:30 a.m. Okay, so public law, which passed in 1989 but dealt with the 1990 fiscal year on provisions related to intelligence authorizations. This act typically authorizes funding for intelligence activities. Okay, I'm going to be able to break this down better than what they're doing, but essentially it says restrictions on covert actions, but it essentially gave them more ways to do actions, and
Yeah.
I'll explain how. Okay, so what we're going to read is a lie on the internet, but I'll show you how. It fraudulently produced as a reform to prevent future incidents brought to light by Iran Contra, but it virtually authorizes every abuse, transferring most authority into the president to start a war, appropriate funds, define foreign policy goals. See, here we go. See Title 7. Okay, this is going to be hard here, but it's essentially that. I don't know if it's a part of that one. Yeah, it is. Oversight intelligence activities. No, just type in what I'm going to give you here.
Okay.
Because I'm not even sure. We're going to go over this. After that, type Title 7, Senate Bill 28 through 34. Let's see here. Okay. A bill fitting the description, Senate bill. Okay, it was not passed in 19, but it's similar. Oh my God, dude. Okay, the pocket veto bill. Okay. Also known as the Intelligence Act, Covert Action and Expense, including a statutory definition of covert action. This is what I'm about to get to right here. This is awesome. See, of course, it's not even going to fucking tell you. That's what I don't understand that. Like, why
Well,
wouldn't it do that?
just like fucking barely scratching the surface on Google, it almost never gives us exactly what we want.
I know. So this is
My
what it
Google's a
actually
fucking
does.
hoe.
And that's okay. You guys can look at this. I mean, I'm giving you the actual Senate bill numbers and everything. You can look at this yourself. But here's what it gives. It gives the president power to initiate covert action. It supersedes the Congress to veto on the action. It allows to use any federal agencies to finance it. And most of the authority, it goes into the hands of the president. Now, check this out. Covert action is defined as any operation necessary to support foreign policy objectives in the U.S. It's very vague.
Yeah.
So the president gets to decide what's important for national security and foreign policy. And then he gets all the so it gets weird here.
He
The water
himself.
gets muddy. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Pretty much, he was made a king essentially. Like the
Yeah.
first king was kind of made was whenever HW got this written. Uh, this gave authority to secretly interfere with economic, internal, and military affairs of foreign governments. This is why we see us overthrowing governments abroad,
Yeah.
and that's a illegal thing to do
We're
internationally.
steady getting involved in other people's business.
Dude, I know, but that didn't happen till this
Yeah.
because it gave us the power. And so this allows the executive branch to skirt laws and overpower other branches with unlimited power. The National Security Directive was start like that's what does it. And so Susan Fitzgerald, she saw declassified NSD documents. And she asserts that most of these documents were found unsigned because they wanted to hide the fact that they were auto penning them because it would be too obvious that they were just auto penning.
You see this
Ooh,
shit?
is she an actor for real?
No, I look up Susan Fitzgerald and it shows me a fucking Irish
Type
actress.
NS, yeah, type NSD. This is crazy, bro. Susan Fitzgerald, librarian, educational consultant. Hmm. Wow. I mean, dude, this guy wrote about her back in 1990, bro. Like, I mean, they scrubbed this shit.
Well,
I don't know. They have to scrub this shit. Yeah.
yeah, dude.
What the fuck? Whatever.
Gotta love it. I'll
So,
look into it
yeah,
more.
somewhere there's a plan to suspend the Constitution. Oliver North was asked if he ever planned to suspend it, and he was told that they had to go answer this in a different room, and nobody ever found out why because of national security. And so FEMA and the continuity of government, Mount Weather, all this stuff that we talked about with underground tunnels, they've got emergency management that is a guise for the real purpose, which is to take control of local, state, and federal government in national emergencies. The only way to do this is if the Constitution was suspended and martial law declared. So, this very existence of FEMA shows that there is a plan to suspend the Constitution and implement a martial law scenario.
Hmm.
It's pretty crazy.
Weird.
So, Congress inquiries are met with I'm not at liberty to discuss the role, mission, or capability we have at any of these locations. Mount Weather held dossiers on over 100,000 Americans who were most likely to resist this subversion of the Constitution, and they would be rounded up with little effort, probably on a national holiday. And they also talked about computers at Mount Weather that was described as the best in the world and could obtain millions of pieces of data
Mm,
on personal lives of civilians. And back then, that was like, whoa, what are we talking about? 1990, they already had computers that were collecting data on everybody.
yeah.
Apparently so. Now it's like forefront. Everybody knows about it, you know?
Yeah. They're pretty open about it.
Yeah, these people talked about monitoring situations to get to them before they became emergencies. And it reminds me a lot of Gideon,
Mm-hmm.
predictive policing. And
That's
that's kind of what
exactly
we're
what it
leading into.
reminds me of.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what we're leading into. That's why I'm kind of going through all this to show they've laid the foundation to make this happen. And
Yeah.
now we have this technology that he was warning about seems to be the biggest businesses out there right now, and they're taking over. So maybe Bill Cooper was a little bit ahead of his time, and it's time to get his shit out there right now because I think
Yeah.
that this shit's coming, it's going down, dude.
I think one of one of the my favorite things that Bill Cooper says is like he doesn't say that today that these societies that what was written is exactly what they're doing, but they're using it as their script.
Yeah, exactly. They use it as their script. That's exactly what they do. They use the Bible as their script.
Right.
So, Executive Order 11490 was a emergency preparedness executive order, preceded the FDA, and it was signed by Nixon. Okay, now we're going to start getting to these executive orders, which were laid the foundation for if a national emergency happens, then the executive orders are in place where, say, like a national emergency happens, like COVID again, or
Mm-hmm.
something else, they can technically instill this continuity of government and take control. And now I think that they're instilling all the technology so they could do it.
Yeah.
So again, don't get too crazy about Israel because maybe that's what they want. That's what we're getting to. So,
We're gonna have another fucking COVID situation here fairly soon.
but maybe more of like a civil war scenario where
Right.
or food shortages that's on purpose.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna get weird.
it's gonna be
It's
much
gonna
more
get weird.
extreme.
It's gonna get fucking weird, dude. So this shows all of this is an instrument to overthrow. Oh yeah, FEMA pretty much gets to suspend the Constitution if they dictate that a national security emergency is occurring. No notes of restoring the Constitution after the emergency is ended, though, which shows that they really have no plan to reinstate the Constitution if said thing happens.
Yeah.
So, the pretext of these emergency measures, like we just said, happen daily: riots, mass shootings, oil spills, even a food shortage, drug war. Any disaster emergency could trigger it. Rex 84A was to test the readiness of the military, police force, etc., and FEMA. 11051, an executive order that gives FEMA all executive orders in effect in times of national emergency, financial health, everything. They get control of it. Doesn't mention war or nuclear attack. It just says a health emergency, a financial emergency,
Mm.
or whatever. It doesn't even mention, war. And by the way, the first ever national security document was written in 1962 by Kennedy. And the verbiage in this one says national preparedness must be achieved for an imminent attack on the United States or war. Nixon wrote a new one, and listen to the difference in the vocabulary here. National security instead of national preparedness. National security is to keep continuity of government in any conceivable situation posing threat to national security
Yeah.
that might conceivably confront the nation. That is some fuckery if I've ever seen it, dude. They're like, well, if anything conceivably possibly happens, then something conceivably could happen, so we must conceivably have a continuity of government.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
Fuck
Like
it.
that's pretty much like what the fuck, bro?
Dude, it is so fucking wild to me how Star Wars is so based off of this shit.
It's 100% based off this. I mean, look at the fucking Klaus Schwab again with his fucking Sith Lord off outfit, at
Dude,
the UN.
it's fucking wild.
Yeah. So let's go through. There's a lot of these, but I want you to understand that if a national emergency ever happens, all of these executive orders I'm about to name are under one umbrella, signed by President Carter. But I'm about to read all these. And check this out. This is the power FEMA gets
All right.
in the okay? 10995. These are all executive order numbers. You can look these up. 10995. Take over communications and media. You don't have to. I was saying like you know if the listener wants to, but you can. 10997. Gas, food, and minerals and electric. They take over all that. 10988. Food, resources, farmland. What do we got here?
And
Oh fuck.
97
Oh fuck. So wait, is there multiple executive orders with these numbers?
mm,
Yeah, electric
potentially.
power. There we go. There we go. The term electric power means, yeah, it gives. Here we go. Shall prepare national emergency plans and develop preparedness programs covering electric, petroleum, gas, solid fuels, and minerals. That's what I just said.
This was under Kennedy though.
10999. Yeah, 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 but it's probably been fucked with since, I'm sure. 10999, all trans. And by the way, these are all just little tiny steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they all add up to one big picture. So 10999, all transportation, highways, seaports will be taken over. 11,000. Here we go. Yep. Seaports, ocean shipping ports, port
Yeah.
facilities, civilian operations, military, essential civilian operation, all of it.
Still says under Kennedy
11.
though.
Yeah, a lot of these. Yeah, I know, but no, I'm going to get to the part where Carter signed all of it into place by 11/4/90, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
11,000 civilians mobilized to work brigades. Let's look at that one. That's a good one. Okay. This one's good.
Mm,
So, covering civilian manpower mobilization, more effective utilization of limited manpower resources, including specialized personnel, wage, and salary stabilization, worker incentives and protection, manpower resources. Develop plans to issue guidance designated to. Dude, I mean, programs for more effective utilization of limited manpower resources. There we go. There we go. Improving. That's some fucking weird, vague shit.
yeah.
Programs for more effective utilization of limited manpower resources and in cooperation with other appropriate agencies like FEMA. Programs for recruitment, training, allocations, and utilizations of personas possessing specialized competence or aptitude, or think of the opposite, where they just don't fuck with you, right? So specialized in a negative way, right? Attitudes. Dude, I'm telling you, man, you
Wow.
can fuck with that. That's there, man. So 11,003 airports and aircrafts. 11,004 relocate communities and establish new homes. Let's look at that one.
11,003.
11,004. Here we go. New housing. Develop plans for the construction and management of new housing and community facilities related thereto, when and where it is determined to be necessary, with public funds through which direct federal action or the construction of new housing through financial or credit assistance in support of production programs. But it doesn't say why they would do this. Let me hear. Oh, shall prepare national emergency plans and develop preparedness programs covering all aspects of lodging or housing and community facilities related. So it's all given over to FEMA.
Yeah. It says right
That's what I
here, these plans and programs shall be designed to develop a state of readiness in these areas with respect to all conditions of national emergency, including attack upon the United States.
all including. So that's the last thing, by the way. So all of these things, including an attack, like an
Yeah.
attack should be the first thing, and it should say including maybe financial health or whatever, right?
Right.
So people could say, well, no, that shouldn't be on there, but they don't even they skip over that and just say including a war.
Yep.
Like, man, dude, I'm telling you, this is it. I know it seems like not that big of a deal, but it could really build up to a real thing.
Yeah.
All of this combined into one big executive order under Nixon. If ever a national emergency is declared by the head of FEMA, all combined under 11490 by President Carter. But Nixon wrote it in. 11490 was signed by Carter.
Mm.
Nixon wrote it. Carter signed it. Our national security is dependent on our ability to assure continuity of government at every level in any national emergency type situation that might conceivably confront the nation. National emergency preparedness planning activity has been an establishment program. So go down because this is where they combine everyone. This is the continuity of government bill right here. Department of Labor, Department of Commerce, Department of Agriculture. FEMA gets control of all of this. This whole list. FEMA gets control, and the president really gets control of it. So let me explain this a little bit better. So the president gets control of it, but the president, in a different order, signed it over to FEMA. Ready for this? President Bush issued a new order delegating powers to the director of FEMA. They described it as
Good
a
night.
technical matter. They described it as a technical matter, but it gave a large number of items only the president could have done to FEMA, including general federal assistance, federal emergency assistance, family and individual grant programs. And this is very important, this one right here. And the power to direct all other agencies.
He himself.
That's FBI, CIA, fucking the police force. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. Like all agencies, you have to really think on a broad scope here. Like not just, you can't just have hope. Oh, these
Yeah.
people got my best interest in mind. So Samuel Huntington said, pardon me, democracy and economic development must be discarded as outdated ideas. Government with no control over its people cannot sacrifice when necessary.
Yeah.
That was his argument. Can't sacrifice. We need to be able to sacrifice these people if we need to. If we don't have control over
What
them,
a
how can we
fucker.
sacrifice them? So all of his ideas were written into executive orders. This laid the groundwork for a secret government. Options to institute a police state
Mm.
under an emergency mobilization act that was prepared.
They found them loopholes and now they're just fucking gaped.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. It's actually insane. So now that we know that the groundwork has been laid down in America, we are not as free as we think. All it takes is one national emergency,
Yeah.
and we're fucking screwed. And we do not have the security of the Constitution the way we think we do. I guess I'll leave you. I'll end with this quote here. So we'll go ahead and get to this instead, and I'll end with that. I'll save that for later. That's a
Okay.
good one, because the end will be that's good. Okay. So Israel and the Antichrist. Now that we know that the Antichrist most likely is this beast system being created, and the brother is the snake, aka the dragon,
Mm.
gives power to it. Israel was created by the Balfour Declaration, which was written by a king, royal family. And that's when it was first kind of the idea was created, right? But who gave power to the Zionists? Well, the Rothschilds were recruited by the Zionists. There's a letter that they proudly read where the Zionists said that they wanted them to be their ambassador, essentially a brand ambassador for them and fund it.
Yeah.
So the royal family and the Rothschilds are Zionists, created Israel. Now they're using it for Armageddon to create a new world order. So as we get into this, understand I'm not attacking Jews. I am also half Jew. It's not even about that. It's about these motherfuckers using Abrahamic religions to usher in prophecy inorganically and enslave humanity.
Yeah.
Who owns these companies, though? That's why it's called Israel and the Antichrist. Let's get to it. Fuck yeah, man. Hey, if you guys like what we're doing so far, if you haven't noticed, we try to do 1 to 2 hour shows for our Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Go hit up our Buy My Coffee. You know what I'm saying? A little Venmo. Go give us some love. Go buy a show. Whatever. Let's get into it. So Trump just talked about a biowarfare convention that needs to be created at the UN. Then he talks about how a digital ID needs to be implemented everywhere. And we've talked about how the UK to work, you have to have it. Vietnam, you have 83 million people with their bank accounts shut off for not having it.
Yeah.
It seems to be that there's a large push for this beast system to be created right now. We also talked about Larry Ellison buying everything. We got a couple more little things I'll show you I just saw today about him. He's telling his workers, I'll just say it. He's telling his workers that if you don't like Israel, maybe this company is just not a good place for you.
Jesus.
Like, too bad, motherfucker. He took an ex-IDF soldier and put them in charge of the TikTok situation.
It's the new fucking COVID vaccine. You want to work here, you got to like Israel.
Exactly. It is the new COVID vaccine because those people created the fucking propaganda for COVID too. I'll just be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the IDF's going in the Pentagon during the Iran thing when we went and bombed them and they're commanding orders to our fucking military. Like they own the place. Our military guys were complaining about it. They're like, dude, these guys just come in here
Yeah.
and they just start commanding shit and complaining about what we're doing. Like, who are you? Not only that, but we're like putting them on our payroll and like paying for their insurance and benefits and shit through our tax dollars.
Fucked.
IDF soldiers.
I don't want to do that.
I don't either. Like that's crazy. But if you boycott Israel, you'll lose your passport. I
Yeah.
mean, not really, but they tried to push that through. They tried to push that through. The day that Charlie Kirk gets shot, they're like, "No Epstein files. Boycott Israel, and you fucking die." Like they're like,
They were like, look, dude.
they're like, you guys get the hints yet? It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So all data AI can be used and analyzed, and we know this, and it's obviously being created to create this. Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So the Easter story is technically kind of illegal because anybody who claims that Jesus was killed by Jews, well, that's illegal. Well, did you know that in the Easter story, that's what it says?
That he was killed by Jews?
Yeah. So what? I can't fucking. So what? That's illegal now. I can't talk about Easter. I
I
mean,
don't
not
know, man.
literally.
It's
If
still
you
a
look, if you
fucking.
look it up, if you look it up, it's not literally illegal because I
Yeah.
did look it up, but technically, it kind of is.
I mean, if you're going off the guidelines of can't shit talk on Israel or Jews.
Right, but yeah, I'm going off of the national definition of anti-Semite from they
Right.
have like some NIH whatever. It's like
Yeah.
called the NIL or whatever. And yeah, it pretty much tells you what is anti-Semitic and what isn't. And if you're anti-Israel, you're anti-Semitic. I'm like, well, that's weird because I know a lot of Jews that hate that. What's
Yeah.
going on there? You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we talking
I
about
wonder
here?
who made those guidelines.
These the Brotherhood of the Snake. The Illuminati.
Yeah.
And that's why they stigmatize the term Illuminati because it really is the most fitting term for these people. All data. So they're creating these think of like blockchain. Blockchain is remember how I always talk about like oh yeah, they're literally like taking mysticism and just digitizing it. Dude, if you look at a DNA strain and look at blockchain, they operate the same way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but a cell, like your cells, each cell operates just like a circuit, dude. Like it's got like receivers or like I don't know how a circuit works. It's got like receivers or whatever the fuck.
Receivers and
But
transmitters and shit.
yeah, so like look up circuit and cell comparison. Like you'll see what I'm saying. So they're creating this shit to match us on a molecular level. You see what I mean? Because they wouldn't be able to encode our DNA literally, like with this shit, with money or whatever, right? Oh, wait, they use cells as circuit terminology. Yeah. Okay, so Jesus Christ, dude. Why do they why?
Yeah,
Why
dude.
is it so
It's pretty
complicated to
fucking
figure this
annoying, huh?
out? Oh man, dude. Human cells are compared to circuits because both are use networks to transmit signals and functions. Okay, so there we go. Your human cells can transmit signals and functions.
Mm,
Okay, so they figured that out and they're hacking our DNA and shit like that, and can it built and DNA can be programmed. This is why they're working on mRNA technology. This is why it is the beast system. It's going to change our DNA. They're creating technology that literally matches our DNA and can alter it. And we might be the last generation of pure
mm,
humans to live on Earth.
yeah,
We might be the last unadulterated, genetically unadulterated generation of humans on Earth. Me and you, bud.
yeah. That's wild,
We
dude.
might we might not even be unadulterated genetically anymore. Like it could be in our water, in our food, in our pills, in our whatever, dude.
Yeah,
Like I was looking at look up a smart pill with a switch. Say with a switch. You have to do that because I had to do that earlier. I was like, why do I have to specify that? It's like they have more than one smart pill, right? So, okay, an ingestible capsule designed to deliver medication at a specific point in the digestive tract, triggered by a magnet or timer. So essentially, they have these little digital pills. There we go. Go down. The first FDA approved digital pill, which are essentially a combination of medication and electronic sensors embedded inside the capsule. And remember, your cells can transmit data and then your
yeah.
DNA can be altered. You could be taking a fucking Tylenol and then boom, you just got changed. You know
They
what I mean?
really,
Like we don't know what they're doing.
they really figured out that we were just organic computers, and they fucking immediately tried
Dude,
to find a way to try to control us.
this is how we know that they're making this shit from entities
Yeah,
as above, so below. Like this is what it is, bro. Like they're recreating the actual world that God, if you want to call it that, the creator, the universe created. And they're creating a digital version so that way they can be gods themselves because they've created a
yeah,
world like God. Dude, that's literally what we're watching in front of our eyes. But unfortunately, humanity has to die in order, like you kind of have to take, like you take out creation as you make your new creation.
yeah.
That's why they have Shiva outside of the CERN, because Shiva is the creator and the destroyer.
Mm,
You destroy so you can make it new, right?
right.
That's what they're going to do to us.
In order to rebuild, you must destroy or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, order out of chaos, the whole deal,
Yeah,
man, dude, think about that. So
yeah.
we don't exist without a verified biometric identification, right? I mean, according to Sam Altman, right?
Right.
Or we got to look in the orb
If you're not a
and
verified human, you don't exist.
yeah, and that's where we're headed right now, right?
Yeah,
So you have to go into the beast system. And I don't need to hammer on the Israel aspect of this. We know I will get into the Unit 8200 though. I do have that I got to pull that up. But because the Unit 8200 plays a big role in this. Did I go into that one day?
yes. Yeah, you did. I think
Was
it
it
was on
on
the
a
last
show or
episode.
was that off show or on it?
I think it was on the last episode.
So yeah, all the cyber equipment, all the intelligence, all the 8200 was a major venture capitalist group. Israel was damn near going bankrupt, and they said, you know what? We're gonna just put all of our chips in the middle, and
Yeah,
we're gonna go for it. You know what I mean? And they fucking went for it, and now here we are, dude. They did it. I
yeah,
mean, they're taking over everything with the technology that they created. Things like Pegasus and all these and fuck, they buy everything they don't have, like VPN, social medias. They're probably blackmailing you from the porn you watch, and
yeah,
that's why you have to verify, sign in to porn now. I bet you it has nothing to do with kids or anything. It's because they want to know who's looking at what.
yeah.
Now
They,
you have to sign in if you're in Texas or whatever, right?
yep.
And then what did Joe Rogan say when somebody mentioned that to him? He said, "Well, everybody has a VPN." Hello, I just said who owns all the VPNs, bro?
Mm-hmm.
So you think you're hiding, dude? Like again, dude, look at that. They got all the bases covered, man. God damn, dude.
Yeah.
I think later we're gonna release this episode later. We'll rename it
All
and
right.
we'll just call it Patreon release. You know what I mean? And we won't
Just
even put a
don't
fucking
even throw up any
description.
flags.
And we'll just put it out
Yeah,
like in a month or something. Like maybe I don't know when, but because I really want people to hear this, dude. Like this is serious shit and it's
absolutely.
important. It's
Yeah.
very important. So think about this shit, dude. Who blows up a hospital? Israel does that.
Mm-hmm.
So does the Joker. Because they encompass that kind of chaotic energy, that same kind of
Yeah.
worshiping of the chaos and murder, and also this idea of like people have this idea of what the world should be. Like
Yeah.
the Joker has a quote where he's like, but they have one thing goes wrong and their whole fucking world's fucked up, right? And that's kind of like order out of chaos. Again, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Like everything the Joker encompasses in that movie. And it just reminds me of them because the Palantir and the Gotham software, it all just kind of comes together in my head where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, you guys have been just fucking getting us ready, dude.
They
You
really
have
have been.
holy shit, bro.
You look at all the
Crazy.
clues and the Easter eggs that they've left us through media and shit over the years. It really makes sense.
I know, man. It's insane. The temple is going to be the data center and the Antichrist will be the beast AI system, right?
Mm.
Think about that, dude. You're fucking taking all your water as the tithes.
Yeah,
You know,
bro.
I'll take my money now. Give me your fucking flesh and water and blood. So rations, eliminations of instincts. So in Orwell's book 1984, he talked a lot about getting and eliminating the instincts of man, right? Sexuality, pleasure, like they'll know no orgasm. The man in the future won't know an orgasm, like that kind of shit. Like they really want that. Well,
Yeah.
nowadays, like people are literally asexual and there's nobody having sex. Like they are creating everything they fucking talked about.
Yeah.
Like it's freaky. Um, and they're doing it through the opposite. Like they're like give them so much sex and smut that they just run away from it and they coil from it because it's too much. Like
Mm-hmm.
they turn into like a deviant and then they're like this is ridiculous,
Yeah.
or they just say that's gross.
Or it's just desensitizing because it's not what they're used to or something like that.
Oh, 100%.
Because I know people. I mean, it's some fucking weirdo, but like, he doesn't he's like mid-20s, still a virgin, weird ass
Yeah.
dude, but he was exposed to all this shit at a super young age and it's not all the same to him. So I can only guess that it's just
Oh yeah.
it's like it's almost weird to him because that's not what he's used to. He's not
No,
used
I
to
bet.
being in the position himself or something. I don't know.
No, I think you're right, dude. There's a video that I'll show here in a minute. Actually, no. We're gonna put the video. Should we put it in the description? I'm trying to think because it's like 20 minutes. Oh wait, I gotta send this to you. I'm gonna email this to you now,
Okay.
and then I will get this other video. We'll put it in the description. I'm just gonna text it to you. Fuck, it won't let me email it. Okay, so there's another video we'll put in the description. It's about 20 minutes. It's pretty much a documentary. It's a 20-minute documentary. It won't take much time. It's about Netanyahu and this rabbi. And this rabbi predicted that Netanyahu would be the last prime minister of Israel. And he would hand the scepter over to their Messiah, which is crazy. Um, Here we go. So I'm going to send that to Justin. We're going to put that in the description. You guys can watch that after this. And I will start talking about what it talks about. Okay, my apologies. We are done. Okay. So, if anybody doesn't know about the far right movement that Netanyahu's a part of, it's called the Shabbat movement, right? It's a global
There is
reach.
this.
It's yeah. We'll keep that pause for a minute. Um, so there's this rabbi. He called himself Rebbe or whatever. He had a lot of influence over Netanyahu. Reagan met with him. Reagan was a huge Zionist, and he lived in Brooklyn. And this is kind of close to where that tunnel, the synagogue tunnel, right?
Yeah.
So, and his modus operandi was terrorist promotion, essentially. But he told Netanyahu he'd be the last prime minister of Israel before handing the scepter over to the Messiah. After that, Netanyahu became prime minister in 1996, then again in 2009, and then for the third time, this last time in 2022. So this time, because of the help of ultra-Orthodox and Zionist parties, he was able to win the third time.
Mm.
Because most people don't like him. That's why people protest. That's why he's got warrants out for his arrest. He's super fucked.
Yeah.
and people were about to arrest him, and that's when October 7th happened, just to put that into perspective,
Mm.
because I believe that he is trying to usher in the Messiah and give the scepter over to him, be the last prime minister, all that. Like, I do believe that's what's going on, or at least he's trying to. Whether it'll happen or not, we'll see. There's massive protests, like I said, but he does rely a lot on like religious language,
Yeah.
rallying the evangelical Christians, like in 2023, saying things like they're not united. We have the he said things like they're not united. We have the Senate and Congress before. Um, he's gotten free subsidized weaponry, like the 6.5 billion in weapons he's getting. But he's doing what Alamech did, which is their pretty much antichrist that they talked about. And he doesn't believe in God, but he uses it for retribution. This is stuff that you could go watch this documentary and it'll get into all this. His Talmudic teachings, you will be slaves if not Jewish. But which Jewish? Because if you're a convert Jew or a Messianic Jew, you'll probably be killed too.
Mm.
So, slavery, the gold standard, digital ID, biometric tracked with Palantir, kind of running it all. And this is why I had that Palantir commercial sent to you, because I want to show you how Palantir has a commercial that essentially is showing us what the world is going to look like in a weird way. This guy's Conscious Juice on Instagram. Follow him. I can't show this without at least plugging him a little, right?
Yeah.
So go check him out. He's got a lot of anti-white um, content that I disagree with. I would love to have him on sometime so I can ask him about that, and just talk to him in general, but also just to kind of clarify, because I'm like, what's up with that, dude?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's kind of weird, but whatever. Let's do it. I just have to be, transparent.
Being honest here.
I'm objective, dude.
There is this new Palantir commercial ad that just came out that you guys need to check out. You guys do remember who Palantir is, right? The new data integration company that's helping the Department of Defense, the IRS, the DOD, Doge, and all the and ICE, the People's Handling Immigration.
And
But
Israel.
check this thing out, y'all. This is crazy.
Good morning, citizens.
You forgot about Israel.
Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits.
You hear
citing
this shit?
Excessive hoarding.
I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
This is AI, bro.
Yep, you got
The
flu.
video is?
This is
Blood work
100%
shows
AI.
a significant iron deficiency.
Oh.
I recommend
Pause.
incorporating more red meat.
Conscious Juice. You racist motherfucker.
This is 100% AI.
This racist motherfucker just put up a fucking fake ass fucking video, dude. Man, get his black ass off my screen. You can fucking cut that part out. Half my family's
Oh,
black too.
fuck,
Hey,
dude.
by the way, I can talk about whatever I want because half my family's fucking black too, bitch.
Dude,
so the
you're
only thing I can't
fucking-
talk about is
You're
fucking
like
Asians, bro.
exempt from a lot of shit, dude.
I am exempt from so many things. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. And I grew up in the hood. I've been saying the N word with real black dudes for a while, bro. I can do what I want. And I don't do that now. I'm a fucking grown man and don't act like a kid, but I used to, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
just saying, bro, like, my dad's married to I got half my family. Get out of here, bro. Half my family's Jewish, half my family's black. Let me tell you something about me. I'm cultured, baby. I'm cultured. I'm Indian. I got native in me, bro. I can get down with the get downs, bro.
Yeah,
I can
dog.
talk about whatever I want.
That's how you know you're not bullshitting, because you had so many
Yeah.
different avenues to kind of brainwash you when you were coming
Yeah.
up. But look at
I
you
know.
now.
My grandma was a Catholic fucking nun at one point. Obviously not forever because she met my grandpa.
Yeah.
She was from Ireland. Like, dude, I got some culture in me, bro. I've been around, you know. I can do what I want. Still, half of me is still thinking in my head, like, fuck, dude, should we cut that? And it's all right, though. It's the Patreon, guys.
It's
But
the
one day this might
Patreon.
end up on Spotify. If we put it on fucking Spotify, we forget about it. I'll be upset. This will
Nah,
be like
this is
somebody's first
definitely a
time listening, and they'll
Patreon
be like, this
episode.
motherfucker's crazy.
I can't
Yeah, yeah,
believe
you're
that
right.
motherfucker was really trying to sell that shit as a real ad, though. That's clearly
That's
AI.
fucking retarded. But essentially, that's the world that I'm kind of alluding to being real, though, even though that is fake. Let's just be honest. That's what I
mean-
was kind of pointing out. And I was also talking about, because I was going to lead into the fact that Palantir, you know, Peter Thiel just did his Antichrist seminar. And his Antichrist seminar, the conclusion of most of it was, if we regulate AI, we will have some kind of like secure peace, security, regulation, which will take over all the nations and create a one world government
Yeah.
and lead in the Antichrist. I'm like, bro, that's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're creating that. Like, you think it's gonna? Oh, if we regulate it, then we're really fucked. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay.
That, I mean, with that shit being fake, that sucks, but the
Yeah, it
theme of
sucks.
it really does kind of sum it up.
It speaks to a truth.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, he just called Greta Thunberg the Antichrist. It's like, dude, you're okay. You can't just call now they're doing this thing that they did with Hitler and like, you know, Nazis and stuff. They're like, call everything a Nazi and then it
Dude.
loses its must. So now call everything the Antichrist. That way nobody really gives a fuck. That's really what it is, bro. I think that that's what he's doing.
I fucking.
I mean, she might be a fucking little demon, but
She's
not the
definitely a
Antichrist.
fucking little demon, dude. But
She is a little demon.
she stays getting nabbed by Israel, too. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Because she keeps
crazy.
going on these, like, Lottie or whatever the fuck they're called. And,
Yeah.
she keeps getting caught up, dude. It's hilarious.
No, for real. Well, Palantir, you know, they're working with the ICE and everything else, as well as Israel, and you know they use migration in Europe
Yeah.
and now here as a smokescreen, so they could then implement a police state with people like ICE, right? Or now you have digital IDs to make sure you're not illegal over there in Europe, right? Like this is what they do. They move a bunch of people in, so people start freaking out, and then they're like, "All right, we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Let's do this." And then you're like, "No, that's not what I wanted to fix it." Like what?
Yeah.
It's the Hegelic dialectic problem reaction solution, you know?
They come out, they're like, guys, we have a solution. Check this out.
It's like, did you have this plan the whole time? No.
Nah,
Well, then why is the font from like 1975?
Yeah, dude.
And they're like, what? And they're
Why
like,
is
this
this
was made with a
fucking
typewriter. This was not made with a computer. This paper is like from old trees. You know what I mean? Like, oh man.
Dude, it was like, I think about this one time at one of my last jobs, they handed out a fucking flyer, and it was like, the new agendas for the company, and it was dated for like 2015, but it was
Yeah.
like year 2022, and I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, for real, man. That's what I'm saying, dude. And you know what's funny? Like, remember earlier this year we talked about the biowarfare thing
Yeah.
where like they were planning an attack about like they did a simulation,
Mhm.
and then Trump at the UN, the Trump at the UN says we need a biowarfare convention.
Yep.
I just thought about that the other day. I was like, what's going on?
Pretty fucking weird, huh?
Something's going on, dude.
Yeah.
Something's brewing up, bro. Something's brewing up. Hey, they're gonna blame something on Osama bin Laden's son, and don't you believe it? You know what I'm saying? Like, pull out a Bill Cooper quote. You know what I mean? No, they really did start talking about Osama bin Laden's son, like how he's gonna bomb 5 cities. It's like, dude, you
Oh,
couldn't have found a
Christ.
different You couldn't have found a different family or something. Like you
Dude.
had to go with the same fucking last name, like the same.
It's
old
always
thing.
like old villains' sons. They can't ever have any original ideas.
Dude, it's always that inversion and bullshit. As Sarah Boston just said, they can't create, so they invert.
Mm.
And that's what they do with what we just said with the biology, computers, and creating a new world out of what already is made. They're
Yeah.
just really making their own version of something that's made. They're not really making anything. They're just studying something so much that they can recreate it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's reverse engineering reality is what they're doing. That's
Fucking
deep.
wild, bro.
It's fucking, that was deep, bro. Hey, sometimes I fucking get myself, you know?
They have the reality
Reverse
stone.
engineer. They're reverse engineering reality. They have the reality stone because they have the philosopher's stone, the secret knowledge, because these secret societies. That's where that comes from, the Philosopher's Stone thing. That comes from that. The Philosopher's Stone is in you, and it's through enlightenment. You become God and all this shit, bro. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So RFK and the wearables, very important for this. Well, also, did you see the patch-style vaccines that Bill Gates is kind of fucking around with?
Mm-mm.
He tried to come out with it during COVID, but it didn't work. But now we're at a good spot where, Trump's his buddy, and now they're doing it. Biocompatible near-infrared quantum dots, microneedles, they're vaccine patches. They dissolve. Minimal training, pain-free. Yeah, well, either way, dude, they're gonna fucking put mRNA things in you. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It reminds me a little bit of the microchips in Sweden where you got to use it to pay. Well, now they're you remember, okay, so back in like 2021, 2019, they talked about Sweden and how they were having people like get into work and pay with chips in their wrist.
Mm,
Do you remember that? Like that was a long time ago.
maybe.
Look up Sweden microchips because now they're making it mandatory, bro. So you see how it was for convenience at first, and now it's like mandatory.
Yeah.
Replace keys, IDs, payment methods for tasking like accessing buildings, public transportation, and making purchases. You got to have the mark of the beast.
Well,
You have to have the mark of the beast to pay. It's either on the forehead or the wrist. That's what it said in the Bible.
what it's used for: unlocking doors for homes, offices, and gyms, contactless payments, storing digital IDs, social media profiles, serving as tickets for public transport like trains. Imagine if all that shit. Imagine if one of those motherfuckers gets hacked. All of your shit.
No, yeah, it's gonna.
It's
That's
all.
what they're talking about. Cyber warfare is like on the rise. It's like tripled, and it's like, well, yeah, you guys are. You're making it to where we can't live in a normal, like a good
Yeah.
world anymore. Like we're fucked.
And then they could make it. They could just turn it off to where you can't go inside your house anymore.
I know they do that in China.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, this was in the Bible again. The beast. You have to use a wrist. It has the mark of the beast to use to pay, trade, barter, the whole deal on your forehead or your wrist. I mean, this is fucking crazy that people have actually been doing this. They've been doing
There
it
it
so
is.
long there.
Mark of the beast right there.
It's a fucking QR code. I told you. I told you them QR codes were it. I knew it.
Look at that.
Some circuits. It's the circuit shit. Like the QR codes, they got the circuit. They look like circuits, bro. It's a classic like circuit design, that weird shit.
That is wild.
But people take so long to realize what's happening, it'll be too late by the time the average person realizes where we're at.
Yeah.
And we'll probably be dealing with this. By the time you realize what it is, it's already in you and it's already too late because they've already put it in your chicken or your fucking Tylenol or whatever the hell, Other countries, they're doing it, outright,
Yeah.
I mean, they may not do it outright here. I don't know, but just saying. But yeah, I guess we'll end with that Bill Cooper quote I was talking about.
All right.
Let me think. Did I have anything else? And pull up that X real quick. Make sure.
I guess if anything, avoid these little grains of rice. What they're saying
Yeah.
what they're saying they're comparing them to in size and shit.
Oh yeah. They're making them as small as they can.
Yep.
Here, I'll do that, and I'll do that.
It's crazy. I mean, anyone who wouldn't think that this could be used for control would probably think this would be sick.
Right.
Like if I didn't have a brain like it is now, a couple years
Yeah.
ago, I would have been like, "Yo, this is fucking dope."
It's
I
so
want that.
awesome.
I wanna
Yeah,
be
look at
able
how
to do
fucking
that.
your convenience will enslave you. That's exactly what it
Mhm.
is. Yeah, all right. So, Kash Patel, remember his girlfriend is part of Unit 8200. And 8200 is involved with the TikTok buy, which is this,
The simple answer, in my opinion, is social media is wildly out of
cyber control bullshit.
Yep.
So now look at what he's calling for. People have been calling him out for his girlfriend and whatnot.
The simple answer, in my opinion, is social media is wildly out of control, and there's too much clickbait in this country. And one of the things I highlighted to Congress in my testimony last week was if we want to protect our youth, We got to get more involved in social media and online platforms because that's where the folks, the assassins of this world, get radicalized. That's where they're the lone wolf actors in general. And so we have to get after that problem set. And I asked for Congress' help in doing so. But speaking of Charlie Kirk, who was a very dear friend of mine, and then I was tasked with.
This is such a clear, like he's on a podcast. This isn't a conversation. This is such a clear propaganda. Like I'm just gonna come out and talk about things,
Yeah.
right? And he talks a lot about how transparent his FBI is. You guys are all very transparent. It's false transparency. It's the type of transparency you do whenever you're feeding me with your right hand and you're slashing me with your left. You know what I mean? Like you're doing some bullshit on the side. It's backhanded.
With leading the nationwide manhunt to find the perpetrators involved, of course we were going to use every resource we have to find every single person involved, and the investigation's still ongoing. But we, as one of the pillars of my leadership here at the FBI, is transparency. We've produced more documents to Congress than my last two predecessors combined by twofold.
Not the Epstein documents.
Yeah, not the ones that fucking mattered.
Yeah, not the ones that really we want, right? The ones you ran on.
Just to put it in perspective. So when we take our investigations out to the streets, I have the same ethos. And this is how we got Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, so fast.
Alleged assassin.
The Boston Marathon bomber, which happened in downtown.
I think it's so funny he brings up the Boston Marathon bomber right after, and George Zinn, he doesn't mention the fact that guy was at both. Or he called in a fake bomb threat after, the same time or whatever. Like, come on, man. Why is that your reference point of example? Right? Yeah, but it's weird that his reference point of example is the other thing that guy was involved in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's weird.
It's odd that that's on his mind. That's the forefront of his mind. He had many other examples he could have used.
Downtown Boston during the Boston Marathon took 5 days, and there was a police officer was killed in that manhunt. Luigi Mangione, who allegedly murdered an individual, the CEO of the healthcare company, in downtown Manhattan in broad daylight, took 5 days to find him. Our investigation is very much ongoing. But we've also, Armstrong, in an unusual thing, put out publicly more information as to what we found because it is of such public importance. The flip side of that is the social media people get involved and they come run with their crazy conspiracy theories because it makes them money. It gives them clicks.
So, what did I say before? Hate speech is not about the right or left. It's about the fucking conspiracy theorists. It's about people who are trying to speak about what's really going on. Why are you so worried about what the fuck we're talking about? If you're really worried about hate speech, if you're really worried about like people that are radicalized by the left or whatever, right? You're not worried about that. You're worried about conspiracy theorists who are speaking truth to power because you can't have that.
Clickbait. And I don't work for them and I don't respond to them.
You work for us. You work for the American people, and they are the American people. You're differentiating yourself from them and the American people. You just differentiated yourself from You just said conspiracy theorists aren't the American people, dude. Are you seeing this right now?
Yeah.
My duty is to the American people.
Dude. Hello out there.
If there was anyone else involved in Charlie Kirk's murder, you can look at our record. We'll find him and we'll get him.
Go fuck yourself. You see what I'm saying? Right there is all I need to show you. I can't say it any better. He just differentiated. It is not about hate speech. It's not about the right. It's not about the left. They're utilizing the left and the right, the radical left and right, like I said earlier, so they can implement this national security state directive with this full-on police state over everybody, and the only people they're really worried about are the ones who will be concerned with the subversion of our Constitution, the conspiracy theorists of the world that really care, the true patriots, the true people that want this country to be the way it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's it right there. Case in point, he just said it. He just differentiated the American people from conspiracy theorists.
Yep.
He didn't say trans or left or this and that. He wasn't doing that. He said what it was. So, without further ado, now that we've kind of laid out everything, Bill Cooper said this: the apathy of the majority of the American people have ensured a civil war is just about the only way out of the predicament we find ourselves in. We must discern reality at all cost to be a part of the future. And we must realize that we've been lied to, and truth needs to prevail in order for us to survive. And that's where we're at, dude. I hope he's not right about the Civil War part, but I think he might be, because I don't see people talking about this, dude. We talk about what they won't. It's another episode of 6G Agenda in the Neoverse.
Fuck
This
yeah.
is a dark one, but it's happening. I mean, this is as deep as it goes. I mean,
Yeah.
right here, when it comes to this is what I mean, and it's crazy. We have to talk about so much current shit. I mean, there's so many things we haven't even talked about in our show in general because we've been encompassed with current, real subversions of our freedoms.
Yeah. I
It's
love my
crazy.
life. I would never kill myself under any circumstances.
Never. I got boys and I love them. And I love life, dude. I love life so much. And that's why I fucking do this every night because I want it to stay the life that I at least grew up with for the most part, better part of 25 years, you know, about 4 years ago. It's changed drastically for the worse.
Yeah.
It changed really started to change when I was fucking 5, but it was a slow change, slow enough that I didn't get to it till I was
Yeah.
older.
Not that I think that we're being watched necessarily. I don't think we're on a list or anything, but if we stop uploading, you know why.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see. Maybe my last name's keeping us covered for now.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's good. He's good.
He's a Clinton, dude. Whatever, he'll be all right. Not, not to be confused with the Habsburgs, right? And the
Yeah.
whole Habsburg thing from earlier. Yeah, no, but I really am not a part of that, so it's funny. And maybe that dude Habsburg wasn't a part of it. I don't know. Okay, but anyway. Great episode. I
Good
had a good
shit.
time, man.
Yeah, man.
Banger. It's a fucking banger. We're gonna end it now. Well, we're done.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, cut. I'll see y'all later.
Fucking
But anyway,
thanks for
yeah.
watching. Tune into the next Patreon episode.
Please, yeah, stick around, man. We got more to come.
Yeah.
And we keep the long ones here. We do the whole thing. We sit down, we strap in, and we go till it's ready.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you next time.